Today on Tricks Fix, we are going over triggers and how to apply them in your tricking. What are triggers? Triggers are the position that your body hits that tells you it's okay to do the next trick. So when you come out of a swing and you're in your eagle position and it's perfect, and then your leg hits the position that you've hit before into a dub, then it's your trigger to tell you to full send. Or maybe you're doing T.D.R double cork and your hand hits perfectly and you transfer right onto your leg perfectly. You know it's perfect because you've done it so many times. That's why the first time doing a trick is scary, but the more you do it, you get better at it, because there are certain things that make you comfortable and tell you that it's okay to do that next trick. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a power trick. Maybe you're doing Vanish 9 and you're doing that and it doesn't come out right and you're like, why was that? And you can easily look at the video, or you can feel it and be like, oh, well, it's obvious. I didn't plant my right leg properly or didn't raise my left knee. That's a trigger. That tells you what you did wrong in your trick, or tells you to bail your trick, not to commit maybe. So now that you know what triggers are, I want to go over them in a few tricks so you can apply it to your tricking. So in the swing throughs, the plant of the left leg of your base leg and the flick of the right foot or your swing foot in swings is my main trigger. My arms naturally swing now, so I don't focus on that. And then I've been able to open my eyes super wide during swing throughs recently, which is kind of a new thing. And it allows me to really get a grasp of where I am, and it allows me to add extra power into the swing chains so that I can go for longer. Next trick is round variation. So my trigger in any round variation is going to be the left knee. When it carries over right in the barrel, right in that perfect spot, I know my exact height and I know my exact angle for the round, and then I can spice it up and do other variations from that, like snapu or jackknife or anything. And because my left knee is actually coming over at the peak of my flip, it's not coming over at the end, or it's not the position necessarily of my body, it's the knee going up and over in like an arc, and that is my trigger for any round variation. It tells me exactly where I am in my trick, tells me exactly how high I am on the ground and everything. So that's a perfect trigger for, it could be in Cheat 9, it can be in any round variation. Next up, we've got GMS. My trigger for this one is not necessarily out of cartwheel, but out of other setups. It's pretty much the same as a swing. You have to have that strong base on your right leg, and then you need your chest to be up to allow your left knee to drive upwards. It can't be driving backwards. It has to be driving into your chest, which should be perfectly vertical. Pretty specific trigger, but everyone always rushes the GMS and never gets enough height, and I think that's why GMS twist is such a difficult move for everybody. Is because I don't think they have a proper trigger for the trick, or maybe they're just not trying to build onto that basic trick. So those are the triggers for that one. Next one is snapu, and not necessarily regular snapu, but redirect snapu. That's actually my trigger, is the hip turn. So making sure that I'm almost in like a B-twist takeoff position, facing backwards, like I'm backwards there, and then I turn and do a big launch. And I actually, every time I do a snapu, I do a side swipe twist. I have to think of it that way. Otherwise, I rush the twist too early. And I like how it looks also if I do the big side swipe and land vertically and then twist right at the last second. I think that is also much easier, and it allows me to be safer that way too. But the stall time of my right foot above the floor, the image that I see of the floor from my point of view, is my trigger, as well as the redirect. Last one I'm going over is T.D.R triggers. Someone recently asked me for help on T.D.R, and I just wanted to go over this to show you that you can use triggers to help you learn tricks, as well as commit to tricks that you've already done before. So this is a drill that I used to teach T.D.R. You do a raise, and then your left foot hits at the same time as your left hand, because you should be able to do like at least a crappy raise before you start doing TD raise. And so what you're going to be doing is going to be finding the trigger. So you're going to learn a comfortable setup and like back step or redirect type of idea for your setup. Maybe it's just a hook into it, or maybe it's just a back step, and then you're going to do that and rep it, which is kind of obvious, but then you're going to learn the triggers. You're going to be focused on what triggers are. So if you go into a trick expecting to learn triggers, and you'll learn it significantly faster than if you just start doing a trick and trying to rep it out and you just do the same thing 100 times in a row. You're not going to be doing new things with the trick, so you're not going to learn as well. Versus if you try different things on purpose during the trick, you will learn when to put the hand down, you'll learn when to lift your chest, all that sort of stuff, specifically speaking for T.D.R.